Thank you, Martin. Greetings, everyone. I bear both the honor and the responsibility to bring to this pre-summit the synthesis of the independent dialogues. And our team has read and is coding the 600 reports that have been submitted so far, and the themes that have come from those independent dialogues and the energy and momentum that comes out of that process are quite palpable in reading the reports. And those themes, our report was posted 2 weeks ago. You can read it on the dialogue portal. Very much are present throughout this pre-summit. The dialogues have picked up on the importance of transformation for equity and sustainability, the importance of applying systems thinking and recognizing complexity, multi-stakeholder engagement, including amplifying the voices of women, indigenous people, smallholder farmers, and youth, the importance of open and transparent processes. These themes resonate through the dialogues and have a sense of people engaging deeply with these issues. At the same time, the language of systems and transformation and complexity has implications that I think we're still just beginning to explore and appreciate. The transfer from piecemeal, incremental project and program thinking to systems thinking is not a small step. And certainly we've heard over and over again that talking in terms of food systems is one of the major contributions of this summit. And I agree with that. I think we have the opportunity to go deeper with the implications of that, especially when we add in complexity and transformation to those kinds of ways of thinking. Because while the calls for action are important, we're hearing actions that will proceed. Part of what I've learned over these many years is that how we think about things also matters. And so this summit has offered food for thought. The dialogues have offered food for thought, how to think about and conceptualize what's going on. And there is a potential unintended consequence of how the dialogues have unfolded that I would call to our attention. As evaluators, one of the things we watch for are unanticipated consequences. And while the dialogues have mobilized and engaged 100,000 people from around the world of all kinds and all ways, and the format of the dialogues have invited them to offer their thoughts about what the summit ought to address, it may also have, and it appears in reading the dialogues, created the impression that something called the summit is going to provide solutions. And that all this feeding of information up to this thing, this mythical thing called the summit, is going to solve things. What complexity tells us is that nobody's in charge in a turbulent world, that it calls for all hands to be on deck, everybody acting in an emergency, wherever they can, doing what they can do in collaboration with others. And so part of what I would offer for our consideration as moving to the summit and afterwards is imagine another set of dialogues flowing from the summit back down that invite people to reconvene and say, here's what the issues are. We've agreed upon these, the nature of food systems connected to climate systems and land systems and water systems and health systems and political and social and cultural systems, and that we have to act locally and contextually. And that what we want to put forth to people in a second round of dialogues is what will you and can you do in your own setting about these issues and in collaboration with others? What will you do? Who will you work with? How will you network? What will you contribute where you are? And the message flows back of all hands on deck in a complexity, dynamic, self-organizing, creative way of bringing people back to their own arenas of action, as well as collaborating at large scale and local scale. And finally, that as we consider transformation, most of the discussions I've been hearing, I commented on this yesterday, are about food systems and climate systems. But we have to also examine the administrative and infrastructure systems of international development. They have emerged out of colonial ways of organizing the world, out of manufacturing industrial ways of organizing the world, of military command and control, strategic ways of organizing the world, and to take a systems and complexity approach to engaging with systems is going to involve transforming how we plan, transforming how we fund, transforming how we design, transforming how we implement, transforming how we manage, and evaluating transformation has to be transformed to evaluate systems change. Because evaluation has come out of a project and program mentality that it maintains. And the danger we face is turning initiatives that are systems and transformation oriented back into the default position of projects and programs which we know how to do. We don't know how to do systems change. We don't know how to do transformation. And we're going to have to all work together to create the mechanisms up and down the infrastructure and architecture of international development to transform those things so that we're no longer barriers to innovation, but in fact facilitating it. And our current mechanisms of architecture and management are more often barriers to innovation and transformation than they are facilitating it. And so we in this room share that challenge of transforming where we work to be sure that we're able to help transform the food systems in ways that they need to.
Michael, thank you so much.